Well, there was something odd going on. The Reserve Bank raised interest rates on Tuesday by 0.5%. By Thursday morning, none of the big banks had moved until just now. There you go. Business Editor Ross Greenwood is with me to discuss it. Ross, who has moved?
OK, so it's the biggest home lender in Australia. The Commonwealth Bank has led the pack out today. It was unusual, and you sense there was a bit of a cat and mouse going on between the big banks. And this is what the Commonwealth Bank has done. It's passed that rate rise in full on. I don't think there's any surprise there that they've done this. But what they've also done, and this is really important, is that they've moved their deposit accounts. You might remember just only a couple of days ago, Jim Chalmers urged the banks to be more generous to the savers. Well, this is what's come out. And I get a sense that this is really maybe the reason why the banks were waiting and basically looking at each other to see what they would do with their savings account, because remember, their margins, their profit margins are made up by not just what they lend at, but also what they borrow, what they give out into savers. And so in this particular case, the key rates that have changed from what I can see are their net bank savers. So pretty much anybody can get access to this account if they're online customers of the Commonwealth Bank. They're raising that, and it's a significant amount, by the full 0.5% to 0.85%. Now, you might imagine that 0.85% in this day and age is not particularly generous. You'd be probably right about that, but it's certainly more generous than what 0.35% was previously. But the other one that they've changed is that they've created an 18-month term deposit. Now, this is for sums of between $5,000 and almost $2 million. They're going to give 3% on that one. There's a few rules and conditions, but it just goes to show just the way in which the banks are responding to these rates having been raised so vigorously by the Reserve Bank. And you can almost imagine that the other banks will follow suit. Macquarie, after the rate decision from the Reserve Bank on Tuesday, moved rates almost immediately. So I think it's this cat and mouse game over deposits that really has changed the narrative in some ways of the big banks.